What's going on, fellas? My name is Spellslinger. Welcome back to the channel. Hit the like and subscribe button if you do enjoy Master Duel content, deck profiles, replays, whatever the hell it may be. Today we're going to be doing an Adamancipator deck profile. I was looking back on some of the content on my channel of when Master Duel first came out, and the one that really popped off for me was Adamancipator, and I really do like the deck. This was the deck that got me back into Yu-Gi-Oh! In general right when lockdown was happening and everything like that. So this deck has a very special place in my heart, and I really do enjoy it. The deck has had a lot of hits over the years, and in Master Duel, no more of the Buster Lock, no more of the what's it called, the Link Carrier, Union Carrier. None of that. So we have had some hits to the deck, but the deck is still able to put out massive combo negate boards with the options that you do have at your disposal. Luckily, in Master Duel, we still do have access to Meow Meow Moo, and we are running the Prank Kids package in here. So we'll go ahead and get into the deck profile. If you have anything that you would change or things that you would do differently, please let me know. I'm very much open to constructive feedback and criticism and things like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and just get into it. Starting off with a couple hand traps, we're using Effect Veiler, and you'll notice that in this deck we are playing 38 monsters. We only have 2 copies of Sekka's Light in here, and of course we can't use spell and traps other than Sekka's Light if we are running this, which I am. So can't run Imperm, can't run Call by the Grave, none of that. But for the hand traps, Effect Veiler can be switched out with anything, you know, DD Crow, Shifter, whatever the hell you want to. Probably not Shifter, but if you do have something that you'd like to run instead of Effect Veiler, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Maybe Nibiru, because you can search it off of the Gallant Granite. Just some options, but I'm playing the Effect Veiler for this right here. Maxi, of course, staple in every deck. Now we're gonna get into some of the rocks. Doki Doki, really good in this deck. Discard rock monster, special summon from your deck a rock monster that has the same original attribute and level. So literally anything. If you have a 2 in your hand, discard it, summon another one of your tuners, get a 4, summon out the tuner or another one of your extenders, such as Roxy's. Literally anything in this deck. So we are running 2 of the Doki Doki. Get into the Prank Kids package, 1 Dropsies, 3 Roxys, and of course the Meow Meow Moo and the Dodo Doodle Doo. So yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. You summon out the Roxys, link into this, you get a banish and a draw to see more cards in your deck. If you don't have what you need already, then link 2 into the Dodo Doodle Doo, get back out another Roxys, and you go from there. You just really easy for link climbing to go into Appaloosa game 1 or turn 1, or go into access code game 2, whatever you'd like to do there. Very good. Now we're going to get into our tuners, Adamancipator Seeker as well as Researcher. Both of these are very, very good cards, just busted on paper. Excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if you hit a level 4 or lower non-tuner rock monster, you can special summon it out and keep extending your plays from there. And both of them can be special summoned out by different conditions. If you control an Adamancipator monster besides Seeker, you can special summon Seeker. If you control a rock monster besides Researcher, you can special summon Researcher. And then the last one down here, Analyzer, is the level 4. It's basically Cyber Dragon. If only your opponent controls a monster, special summon this one. And then the same Excavate 5, summon a level 4 lower non-tuner rock monster. Very, very good. Now we have 3 copies of Corinthian, the hidden gem of the Seafront. This was released a while back, but is very good in Adamancipator. It gives you an extra normal summon of a rock or an earth. And then if it's in your graveyard and you control an earth and a water at the same time, you can special summon it back out from the graveyard or banish it when it leaves the field. Just an excellent extender here. We are running 2 copies of Century Soldier of Stone. I've thought about replacing this with Block Golem, I think it is, just for some extra extension, but any level 3 rock, or any level 3 rock earth will do the trick. So the only reason we're playing this is to access our copy of Naturia Beast in the extra deck, just for infinite spell negation. So we're running 2 of these, and there is a little bit of recursion with Century Soldier of Stone. If all rock monsters you control if all monsters you control are rock and it's in the graveyard, you can special summon it out. You can do that once per turn, and that's really cool. You can do a little thing off of Doki Doki where if you have one in your hand, use the effect of Doki Doki to pitch one, summon the other, and then you can special summon out the one that's in the graveyard because all you control is Doki Doki and Century Soldier of Stone. Pretty cool little combo that you can do there. Not too bad. Rounding out the hand trap lineup, we do have 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Max C definitely is really good against this deck, so we want to be able to get rid of that when we do see it. 1 copy of Gigantes, just good extension, something that you can search off of Block Dragon, just a free special summon if you have an Earth in the graveyard. 3 copies of Quakumeru Guardian, very good for setting up your boards. It is a monster negation and destroy, so it plays around Nibiru, plays around Ash. Stuff that you can do just as long as this guy is face up in your monster zone. Running 2 copies of Gate Blocker. Labyrinth is really prominent right now. Trap Trick is very prominent right now. There's a lot of really good decks that have field spells in them that necessitate their game plan. So if you have a Gate Blocker on your end board, you're sitting pretty good. Like I said, 3 copies of Roxy's, 2 copies of the Adamancipator Analyzer, and then 3 copies of Quakumeru Supplier. Level 4, special summon it out. Then you can add a Quakumeru Guardian from your hand, and you want as many rocks in your hand as possible. Just as many resources as you can get to in an easy way will help you out in that way. For the reason, Block Dragon's at 1. We need to see this in our opening hand as quickly as possible, and we have a couple ways to get to it, that being Gallant Granite and draw tools such as Sekka's Light, as well as the Praying Kids Roxy's. And of course, Block Dragon, the most busted card in one of the most busted cards ever printed for rocks specifically. It had to be banned in TCG because of this deck specifically. And Block Dragon, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can add monsters whose total levels equal 8 from your deck to your hand that are rocks. So you can literally get your Researcher, your Seeker, or your Analyzer, or you can get Researcher, Seeker, and Gigantes, or you can get the Corinthian to get an extra normal summon. It's such a busted. This card is so busted. Best card in the deck by a long shot. And then rounding out the deck, we have 2 copies of Sekka's Light. It's Pot of Greed, very good. It's Pot of Greed with the caveat that you can't activate spell or trap cards except Sekka's Light for the rest of the duel, which is completely fine. But on top of it being a Pot of Greed, you literally just draw 2 cards. While it's in the graveyard, you can banish it, and then mulligan 1 card from your hand to the deck, and then draw 1. So let's say that you drew 2 copies of something that you can't use, or you drew the Dropsies, which is the Garnet of the deck. You can shuffle that back into the deck and then draw another card. Sekka's Light, very, very good. This is definitely a glass cannon build, but once it gets going and you have ways to stop your opponent's hand traps, then you're sitting very, very pretty. So yeah, that's the main deck. Hopping into the extra deck, we are running 1 copy apiece of Naturia Beast and Barkion Spell Trap Negation. Very, very good. 1 copy of the Risen Raptite. Now this one has the same excavation effect, excavate the top 5, but you can special summon any of your rock monsters, and it doesn't have to be a non-tuner, so you can get out more copies of your actual tuners in the deck. If you haven't used their effects, then you can continue comboing from there. Very, very good. And then it is also a DD Crow effect in the if it's on the field while you have a wind monster in your graveyard, and we have a couple of those. We have Appaloosa, as well as the Dodo Doodle Doo, which you will have in your graveyard from link climbing into Appaloosa turn 1. So if you do end on Raptile, you have a little DD Crow in your graveyard, or on your field, to stop your opponent's plays from there. Borreload Savage Dragon, we do run link climbing packages, so this is just going to be an Omni Negate. Very good. Adamancipator Risen Dragite, also a really good card here. It is a spell and trap negation as long as you have a water in the graveyard, and we do have a couple of those as well. We have Corinthian as well as Dropsies for just when you're link climbing, you'll have that in the graveyard for those purposes as well. And then the other effect here, really good going second as well. It helps clean up your opponent's board to excavate the top 5, and as many rock monsters as you hit, you can return cards from your opponent's field, non-targeting, by the way, to your opponent's hand. So it's a spell and trap negation as well as a potential bounce your entire opponent's board back to their hand, which is really good. running 1 copy of Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Just really good. We want to get into Baron, but if we don't have the extension to go into a level 10, we can just get out an 8, special summon back out one of the tuners that we use to go into it, and then go into Baron from there. Really good. Of course, running the 1 Baron, just an Omni Negate while it's on the field. 1 Abyss Dweller, Graveyard. Graveyard is the second hand, so we want to shut off access for our opponents to be able to activate effects in the graveyard, so that's a really good end tool. Gallant Granite, just a way to get Block Dragon into our hand. If we already have Block Dragon, then we can add one of the other tuners or one of the other extenders. I was saying earlier about the Prank Kids package, we already touched on that. 1 copy of IP Masquerena. You can end on IP Masquerena and a Block Dragon on your opponent's turn to go into Nightmare Unicorn, which is a spin on their turn, as well as it will trigger the effect of Block Dragon to set you up for next turn. Then you can add your tuners, your extenders, all of that. So IP Masquerena, very good. Nightmare Unicorn, just touched on that. Appaloosa is our payoff for the Prank Kids package to end on a 3 negates Appaloosa, and then Access Code Talker going second. It's just very easy to go to Nightmare Unicorn into Access Code Talker and clean up the games from there. We do have some replays for you now. Like I said, if you guys are enjoying this content, hit the subscribe button for me, leave a comment, do whatever you'd like. I'm not forcing you to do anything. However, we're having fun here. I'm happy that you're sticking around. Let's get into these replays right now. Alright guys, thank you so much for sticking around. We're going to get into this first replay right here, and we are going second. This deck can go second very easily. You don't need to set up all of your negations and then hope that it sticks. It can break through boards very easily, as shown in this replay right here. We are playing against Runic, but I believe it is Naturia Runic, so just a little bit of a variant on that. They're going to go ahead and get out Hugin, pitching a copy of the Sacred Tree, adding the Fountain from deck to hand. They're going to activate the Sacred Tree in the graveyard, adding a copy of the Mole Cricket from deck to hand. From there, they are going to normal summon the Cricket, activate the Fountain, and then activate the Runic Tip, adding the Runic Slumber, banishing the top card from our deck, which was the Gate Blocker. They didn't kind of know what we're on now. They're going to activate a couple more Naturia cards, banishing some cards, activate the effect of the Fountain, returning to 3, and then drawing 3, set 1, and pass. So we have a couple things that we need to deal with here, but we did get Block Dragon off the top. We're going to activate Sekka's Light to start things off, draw 2, and then use the mulligan effect of the Sekka's Light to return one of the Quackimera Guardians to our deck, and then draw 1. Another Ash Blossom, very, very good. And we can use that right now as they use the effect of Mole Cricket. We will negate that with the Ash Blossom that we did draw off the top of Sekka's Light. Very good here. We did normal summon out the Roxy's, and from here we are going to link into a copy of the Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo. Use the effect of the Roxy's, getting rid of the Guardian, banishing the Guardian, drawing 1, and summoning out the Dropsies, and we can go into the Prank Kids Doodle Doo. Very good draw there, by the way, Seeker. And then we are going to chain a copy of the Quackimera Supplier. When a rock monster leaves the field, you can special summon it out. Just more advantage here. And then on resolution, we can use the effect of Supplier to add 1 Quackimera Guardian to our hand. Now from here, we are going to summon out the Block Dragon, link into a copy of the Nightmare Unicorn, and then chain 1 the copy of Block Dragon, chain 2. You want to, with this, it is really cool. You can chain block the effect of Block Dragon if they do have, Ash in their hand or something like that. You can play around that. Typically, you're going to be going into Nightmare Unicorn anyway, so you can chain 1 the Block Dragon, chain 2 the Nightmare Unicorn, and then they can't really interact with the Block Dragon. From here, they do have they're going to use the copy of Mole Cricket as well as Forbidden Droplets and the Hugin to negate the Unicorn. We were trying to spin the Fountain, so they want to protect that as much as they can. Unicorn will be negated. They're going to get the Mole Cricket out, and then Block Dragon will be able to add us the Seeker, the Researcher, and a copy of Gigantus for Extreme to continue our plays here. So now they're going to activate Runic Destruction and continue from there. They're going to get out the Hugin, use the effect of the Runic Fountain, chain the copy of Hugin, setting the Bamboo Shoot, and then this will resolve. Hugin will be able to add another copy of Runic Fountain, and the Fountain will be able to return 1, draw 1. We're going to use the effect of the Seeker to excavate, and we do hit a couple things. We're going to get out the copy of the Corinthian. And then from here, we're just going to go into access code, do some cleanup, and this should be pretty easy game from here. Use the effect to get up to 53. Get rid of the Hugin. Hugin will go back to the extra deck, not the biggest deal. Access code from here, we can destroy the Runic Fountain. And from here, Seeker, we haven't used any of our tuners. And we're just going to go into a Raptite. And then Seeker will be able to activate here, getting us out even more extension. And we do hit a copy of Sentry Soldier of Stone, and we can use the other effect of Raptide here to excavate even further. We're going to get out a copy of, I don't remember what we get out here, get out the Gate Blocker, then we can go into Naturia Beast, use the effect of, or use the summoning effect of Block Dragon to just get out everything else that we need. So this kind of just showcases how easy it is to play through your opponent's boards going second, and just dismantle it if you open what you need. So yeah, there's that. The next replay right here is going to show what the deck can do. Basically go unimpeded full combo. So stick around for that. Alright, fellas, like I was saying, this replay here is going to showcase what the deck can do when playing unimpeded, what the end boards can look like, what your lines look like, and everything like that. So we're going to start off with a normal summon of Guardian, special summon out the Researcher, and then Excavate 5, and we do hit a couple of good things here. We're going to get out the copy of Quackimera Supplier. Supplier is going to add us another copy of the Guardian. From here, we are going to special summon out the Seeker. Seeker effect will excavate us 5 more. We hit the Roxy, the Doki. Sitting pretty, man. Sitting pretty. This deck is good. Good. From here, we're just going to go into our Prank Kids line. Prank Kids activate. The Roxys, we're going to banish one of the Guardians. Draw 1. Got the Corinthian. Very good. Get out the Dropsies, then go into Dodo Doodle Doo. The Dropsies will activate, getting us another copy of the Roxys. And from here, we don't have Block Dragon in our hands, so we're going to go into Gallant Granite. Gallant Granite will be able to activate and get us that copy of Block Dragon. Awesome. Very good. Activate the effect of the Corinthian to get us another normal summon. Get out Block Dragon, and then from there we can go into that copy of Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess, and Block Dragon from there will be able to activate. So we're going to get us a copy of Analyzer to extra normal summon Doki Doki, as well as the Researcher. And we can basically pop off from here. So we're going to go into the copy of the Raptite. Raptite effect will be able to activate, getting us out the Seeker. We hit the Seeker, hit the Corinthian, and yes, we're going to get out the copy of Seeker. Then we can go into the copy of Adamancipator Risen Dragite. We do have the Spell and Trap negation because of that. We can get out Block Dragon again to go into a copy of Baron. Setting up here pretty nice. After that, we're going to extra normal summon that copy of Analyzer. We haven't used the effect, so we are going to be able to excavate 5, and we do hit the copy of the Supplier. Very good here. After that, we're going to go for Abyss Dweller, and then use the effect of Block Dragon again to get it back out. Use the effect of Corinthian to get that back out, and on the IP Masquerena, and then the last thing, use our hand to get back out the Block Dragon. Now, this is our end board. This is looking really good, as well as an Ash in hand. So looking at this right now, we have an Omni negate with Baron, we have a Spell and Trap negate with Adamancipator Risen Dragite, we have complete shut off of our opponent's graveyard effects, a 3 negate Appaloosa, and then a quick link with IP Masquerena into our copy of Nightmare Unicorn on their turn, and then use the effect of Block Dragon chain blocked with the Unicorn to get our extension for next play. And then of course we will have to pitch the Ash Blossom on that, but that's not the worst thing in the world. So this is going to be able to facilitate wins for 90% of your matches, and our opponent that we were playing against here did have a pretty funny way of dealing with this. So one thing that you do have to look out for here is, of course, Kaijus and Sphere Mode. So they got rid of all our negation, got rid of the Baron, got rid of the Dragite, got rid of the Appaloosa, and they set 2, and we're going to pass it back to us. But we before they left the main phase, we are going to use that Nightmare Unicorn IP Masquerena Block Dragon combo. So chain 1, chain 2, pitching the Ash to return that set card to the opponent's deck, and then Block Dragon will be able to add us the Researcher, the Seeker, as well as the Analyzer. So just all gas for this turn right here, and from this position we're looking pretty good. We can basically just clear up the board and then go from there. So we're going to use the effect of the Abyss Dweller just in case they do have any shenanigans that they want to do in the graveyard. Use the effect of access code to gain it, and then normal summon the Analyzer. And then from here I wanted to get one piece of negation on the board before I wanted to interact with that. with that set card. So from there, we just went ahead and synchro summon into the Borreload Savage Dragon, effective Borreload Savage Dragon, to get that piece of negation, and then our opponent will scoop from there. So even with our board going first, basically annihilated, with the Block Dragon able to add us the tuners for follow-up, we're sitting pretty good. One more replay for you. Stick around. We have that in just a second. Alright, fellas, last replay for you here. Thank you so much for sticking around. Hit the subscribe button if you do enjoy this content. I'm having fun with it, as always, and we'll go ahead and just get started. We're going to go into the Prank Kids plays, link into this, use the effective Roxy's, and they do have the Ash for it. So this is going to showcase what we can do if we don't have access to this line. So we can chain the Quackimera suppliers since the Roxy's did leave the field, so we are going to be able to extend from here. Definitely not the worst thing in the world. So we're going to use a supplier to get out the Guardian, and then we do have the Gigantus in hand, so we can get out the Gigantus and then go into the copy of Gallant Granite to add what other than, of course, Block Dragon. Very good. And then from here we can get, we're going to be able to get out the Block Dragon and then go into IP Masquerena. It's a little crusty right here, but we do need to get Block Dragon into the graveyard so we can continue our plays from here. So we get all 3 tuners in our hand. So we're going to get the Corinthian to get the extra normal summon, special summon out the Researcher, excavate 5, and we do hit a copy of the Quackimera Supplier. Going to get that out, then go into a copy of the Raptide. Raptide effect will activate here. It's excavate 5 more. Hit Gate Blocker, hit another Researcher. For the most part, we definitely want to be able to hit as much as we can. My thought process here was I wanted to get the Century Soldier of Stone so we could go into like a Naturia Beast or just something like that. It didn't end up playing out that way, but that was my process for why I got that out. Seeker effect will activate here. We did hit a copy of the Roxy's as well as another Century Soldier of Stone. To get the Roxy's from there, we're going to go into the Excel Stardust Synchron, or Excel Stardust Dragon, get back out the copy of Researcher, and then go into Baron right here. Now we're going to get back out the Block Dragon, and then link 4 into a copy of Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. Pretty good here. Extra normal summon the Adamancipator Analyzer, and then hit a copy of Roxy's again, or just another 4 to go into Borreload Savage Dragon. Borreload Savage Dragon will be able to get us a copy there. And from there, again, we can just get out Block Dragon. We weren't able to end on the IP part of it, but again, we just want the bodies out there. If they are able to clear the Block Dragon, we will be able to have follow-up for next turn. But this board looking pretty good as it sits. If I was able to, if I did decide to go into that level 4 instead of the 3, then I could have ended on the Abyss Dweller here as well. But didn't end up panning out that way. But as it sits right now, we do have 5 negations on our opponent's turn. So we'll see what they end up going for here. So they're going to normal summon Planet Pathfinder. They are on the Numeron network shenanigans. They use the effect, and we will negate with the Appaloosa, so that will resolve. And from there, they do have a Kaiju for us. They have that, and from there, they didn't have any other plays, and finished up with that. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I'm having an awesome time just with different decks, and if you'd like to see anything, please let me know. I'm very open to hearing suggestions and want to provide to you what you would like to see. So, I have been Spellslinger. Thanks for sticking around. Have an amazing day, you guys, and I will see you next time.